Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to OCCW Prime. I'm your host, Jonathan Malice, and we're here this week with the legendary Azrael. Thank you for joining us, Azrael.
Thank you for having me on the show today, Johnny Mellis. I know you're very busy planning the big event there on the 29th, Exodus.
It was dubbed Exodus. That is at the Orange County Championship Wrestling Training Center. That is 8381 Catella Avenue in the city of Stanton. Doors open at 5:30. Show starts at 6. I'll get right into it. You are going to be wrestling Freddie Flores on this card. Let's take it back a little bit though. At Next Level in Garden Grove, you wrestled B.A. Marcus Frey, and oddly enough, the champ Othello was ringside. Tell us a little bit take us through that match a little bit, and ultimately what happened, and what your plans for that moving forward.
I think Marcus Frey's a strong contender. He's a big, strong man. I think he's fallen under a negative influence in Othello. I think Othello's running his life, leading him down a dark path. He used to be a lawman, doesn't seem to be following the law anymore. They took the law into their own hands, put the beating on me, which, I deserved, but, words are words and actions are actions. Said things I shouldn't have said, and, I've seen the light recently, If people come together, attitudes can change, opinions can change, people can change, a whole country can change. So, moving forward in a better direction, and I got a lot of respect for Freddie Flores. He's a hard worker. He's a good contender, and on the 29th, I'm going to put a beating on him like he hasn't had since his aunt and beat him with a shoe.
Beat him with a shoe. I like that. So they injured your leg. How was that healing? How are you making way with that injury? Exactly what was the diagnosis on that injury?
I have a fractured right ankle. I'm moving around on it. I have another match September 15th at Destination 6 against Rudy. I've worked Rudy before. I've worked Rudy hurt before. We all do it in wrestling. I've dislocated my shoulder, torn my labrum in my shoulder on this side. I broke one of my ribs. I've had a couple concussions since I've been wrestling in the last 3 years. It's real funny throwing me through the wall, but, I genuinely, have the concussion. But, we work hurt in wrestling, and that's what we do.
Fair enough. You're wrestling Freddie Flores September 29th. You've wrestled him before, but I think that was in tag team action. Is that correct?
Me and Freddie Flores have been in the ring a couple of times. I wrestled him, I believe, at a quinceañera there at the dojo. It wasn't the liveliest crowd ever. I don't think they understood the wrestling, not really the wrestling fans. They were trying to be very polite. The little boy had a business suit on. They dressed him very nice at the birthday party. I don't even own a business suit, but this kid's all 9 years old, looking like $1 million.
$1 million, yes. He looked like the Mexican Ric Flair in training.
He had a big watch on, if I remember.
He had a big watch on.
The kid's a big baller. The kid's calling shots there at the playground.
Well, the kid's now big in Mexican country singing. I think it's called banda music or something like that. So you're up against Freddie Flores. Now, Freddie Flores is without his tag team partner. Typically Freddie is one half of La Raza. They're famous for their tag team title runs. They recently regained the title from Suburban Justice. But it's a singles match between you and Freddie. Right. Is Freddie as formidable a singles wrestler as he is in a tag team, or do you think maybe you might have the edge there?
Well, see, I've known Freddie Flores for a long time. Freddie Flores trained at Mach 1 about 6 years ago. I remember Freddie Flores from that. I was there at that time. We started wrestling around the same period of time. And, they need to branch out. They need to get into singles competition. That's where you test yourself. There's nobody else to tag out to. You got to test your wind. You got to test your mettle. And, see who the better man is and see who's the better half of La Raza.
Fair enough. Now, you and Mikey O'Shea have kind of formed this odd friendship, where it seems like, you're the one who has all the negative things to say about the world, but you have good things to say about Mikey O'Shea. Mikey O'Shea wants to be everybody's friend. It seems he's grudgingly your friend. He came to help carry you out of the ring when you got hurt by the franchise players. He kind of called them off on you when they had you cornered in the hallway not too long ago. What's going on there with you and Mikey O'Shea?
Well, see, Mikey O'Shea wants to be everybody's friend, Mikey O'Shea, even me, so Mikey O'Shea is one of, the kindest, nicest people, against my advice, against my good wishes. I don't think people respect the man because the man is so nice. There's no reason Mikey O'Shea shouldn't be top champion in every promotion in Southern California, if not the rest of the country. He can beat people like Jeff Cobb. He can beat people like Kevin Cross, but he needs that killer instinct. That's why I make fun of the man. I'm pushing Mikey O'Shea to get to the bigger and better things that he can do. He's beaten Gangrel, he's beaten Hammerstone, he's beaten big names, and he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. And quite frankly, that pisses me off to no end.
Fair enough. Yeah, Mikey O'Shea, definitely one of the top talents here in Orange County. Maybe underappreciated in that he doesn't come from any clique, as it were, or anything like that. Okay. Your future in wrestling. What are your aspirations? Obviously, everybody wants to get, to a national wrestling promotion. But in private, you've told me a little bit. You have a different philosophy on how you want your wrestling career to go. I know Marty Skrull and guys like that are not on the international radar. You don't see them on Monday nights, but they're respected both by their peers as well as the hardcore and avid fans of pro wrestling.
See, everybody wants to get on to the big show.
Sure.
That's something that's already been built. That's something that's already been done. You go to WWE, that's already built. That's Hulk Hogan's accomplishment. That's not my accomplishment. You go to Ring of Honor, that's Daniel Bryan. That's not my accomplishment. That's his accomplishment. PWG, that's Joey Ryan. That's Super Dragon. That's Rising Sun. That's their accomplishment. That's what they That's what they built together. So what I want to do is try to build something that we can make. We can put something together with OCCW that hasn't been put together from the ground up in over 10 years. PWG was originally a Southern California promotion, Southern California guys, before being a destination for other wrestlers, and there's nothing wrong with that. Build up, be on, but there's nothing that says that we can't do that. They were running out of an American Legion Hall, still were, there's nothing that says that we can't do that we can't be all in, that we can't have, 1,000 people in the crowd. So building something from the ground up and say that I made this, we built this, us, our 6 guys or however many guys that it's going to be, building up a company from, very little to something that we can all be proud of.
I appreciate that and I respect that. I thank you. Any parting thoughts for our fans?
You're going to see the best match of the weekend with me versus Freddie Flores. You can run 5 shows on the same day. You can run 6 shows on the same day within 2 miles. I don't care. I'm going to be the best match on the show. I'm not going to be outperformed by anybody. Not anybody with WWE aspirations. Not anybody from Lucha Underground. Not nothing. Not nobody. Not ever. Me and Freddie Flores are going to have the best match of the show. I've known him for 6 years, and he's going to have the best match of his career on the 29th.
For OCCW Prime, I'm Jonathan Malice with Azrael, wishing you a good night.